5 takeaways from the 4-hour work week. Almost everyone in the world grows up with one trajectory in mind. Study, grow up, get a stable 9-to-5 job, and then spend your entire life working for someone else. And then live your life after you're 65. While a lot of people think of that as a fulfilling life, a lot of people want to live now and not have to wait until they're 65. That is something that pretty much can't be done if you're working a 9-to-5 throughout your life, and that's exactly what the author, Tim Ferriss, talks about in his book, The 4-Hour Work Week. In this video, we're going to talk about how you don't have to live your whole life working 9-to-5, and that you can achieve financial freedom even if you're just working 4 hours a week. Yes, this sounds very MLM-y, but this is far from that. This is a whole new world. You just have to open your eyes to see it. So, without further ado, let's jump into 5 takeaways from 4-Hour Work Week that will change your life today. Number 1, ignorance is bliss. Use it to your advantage. A lot of us are glued to our phones these days, and that's not necessarily a bad thing because of the way the world works. You're working really hard, so what's the harm in taking a 5-minute phone break? Well, first, you don't have to work that hard, but more on that later. Secondly, if you're noticing that the distractions from your phone or your social media are making your workday go a lot slower than it normally would, there's a problem. Try turning your phone on Do Not Disturb, put it in the other corner of the room, and ignore it for the rest of the day so you can work distraction-free. Finish up the task that you're working on, and then catch up on what's happening in the world. Number 2, work smarter, not harder. This is something a lot of us have heard while growing up, but how exactly do you do this? Well, there are lots of tiny things you can do to work smarter. Eliminate everything that wastes your time by thinking ahead. More on that coming up next. The author relates this to the 80-20 rule. That means if you know that only 20% of the work you do yields the most results, then only focus on that 20%. When you do that, you can actually end up doing even better at the 20%. And it might bring you even more revenue than if you were just putting your all in the entire 100%. For example, if you know that social media marketing is 20% of the work you do, but it's bringing you almost all of your customers, then scrap all the other plans and put it all into social media. That way you'll be able to convert a lot more customers than if you were spreading yourself thin trying to get everything done. Number 3, think about all the what-ifs. Many people live by the rule, don't waste time on the what-ifs, but here things are totally the opposite. It's okay to think about what-ifs because they help you create plans that are borderline foolproof. Whenever you're about to make a big move, figure out what the worst-case scenario could be. You could fail, right? Failure doesn't always mean the end of it all, but more on that next. Once you've identified your worst-case scenarios, accept them and move forward. Hope for the best, but plan for the worst. It'll keep you productive, and unless you're in that worst-case scenario, you'll always know that you're doing just fine. Number 4, fail better. Failure is not the end of the world. Everyone makes mistakes, and those that don't aren't doing it right. Failure is the way you're actually going to learn things. Every time you fail, learn from it and try again. You don't really need to stop failing right away. You just need to stop failing better until you get to where you've always wanted to get to real happiness and success. Number 5, outsource the unhappiness. Let's face it, not all work is going to be fun. And the majority of the time, it is the not fun work that takes the longest time to finish. If you're just pushing through a task because you have to, and not because you're passionate about it, it's always going to take up a major chunk of the 8 hours a day that you've got. But things don't always have to be that way. Let's say you make a YouTube video, kind of like the one you're watching right now, but you don't really like editing the videos. Editing takes up a majority of your day and is frustrating. But you love shooting the concept and doing the voiceovers. Then you know what part of the work makes you unhappy. Take it and outsource it to someone else. That way your video will be done a lot faster and you'll be a lot happier in the long run. Working less and getting more output, whether that's 4 hours a week or just 1. And with that, we wrap up today's video. Now that you're aware of everything you can do to take your life from being work-focused to life-focused, do you see yourself switching over to the 4-hour workweek lifestyle? Let us know in the comments below, and if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos just like this, and we'll see you in the next one.